The flight from Chicago to Zurich was supposed to be the longest 8 hours of David's life, but he never expected it to be the most dangerous. David was 26, wearing a faded hoodie that had seen better days, and in his arms was baby Leon, only 6 months old and burning up with a fever. David wasn't supposed to be in first class. In fact, he had barely scraped together enough money for economy. But at the gate, a scanning error had bumped him up to seat 2A. A miracle, he thought. A chance for Leo to sleep. But as soon as David buckled himself in, the miracle turned into a nightmare. The passenger in 2B wasn't just anyone. She was a woman in her 40s, dripping in diamonds, tapping furiously on a phone that cost more than David's car. She took one look at David's worn-out sneakers and the sweating baby, and she pressed the call button with the force of a judge slamming a gavel. "Get him out," she said to the flight attendant, not even whispering. "This is first class, not a homeless shelter." The entire cabin went silent. David felt the heat rise to his cheeks. He pulled Leo closer, whispering a soft shush as the baby whimpered. "Ma'am," the flight attendant said nervously, "he has a valid ticket." It was an upgrade. The woman laughed, a cold, sharp sound. "Then downgrade him." "I don't care. That thing is going to cry, and I have a meeting in Zurich. I pay for peace and quiet, not the smell of formula and poverty." David looked down. He wanted to scream. He wanted to tell her that Leo wasn't just a thing, that they were flying to Zurich for specialist surgery. That was the only chance to save Leo's heart. He wanted to tell her he had sold his house, his truck, and everything he owned just for the plane tickets. But he said nothing. He was too tired to fight. He started to unbuckle his seatbelt, ready to walk back to economy in shame. Suddenly, a hand reached across the aisle from seat 1A. It wasn't a soft hand. It was calloused, scarred, and belonged to an elderly man wearing a stained fishing vest and reading an old newspaper. "Sit down, son," the old man grumbled. His voice was like grinding stones. The rich woman scoffed. "Oh, great. Now the fisherman is speaking. Can we get security? This entire section is compromised." The old man ignored her. He looked at David. "Is the boy sick?" he asked. David nodded, tears stinging his eyes. "Heart defect. We have an appointment at the university hospital tomorrow at 8 a.m. The old man nodded slowly. Then he reached into his dirty vest pocket and pulled out a small, crumpled candy bar. "Sugar helps with the ear pressure," he said. The rich woman groaned. "Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is a zoo." For 3 hours, the tension was thick enough to choke on. Every time Leo made a sound, the woman huffed, rolled her eyes, or made loud comments about breeding control. David tried to make himself invisible. But then, the unthinkable happened. Halfway over the Atlantic, Leo stopped crying. He didn't fall asleep. He went limp. His face turned a terrifying shade of blue. David shook him. "Leo! Leo!" Panic exploded in his chest. "Help! Something is wrong!" David screamed. The rich woman recoiled. "Oh my God! Keep him away from me!" "Is it contagious?" The flight attendants rushed over. "Is there a doctor on board?" The intercom boomed. Panic ensued. No doctor came forward. David was sobbing, doing chest compressions on his tiny son with 2 fingers, begging God not to take the only thing he had left since his wife died. The rich woman was filming it. "This is traumatizing me," she said to her phone camera. "I'm going to sue the airline." That was when the old fisherman in seat 1A stood up. He didn't move like an old man anymore. He moved with military precision. He ripped the phone out of the woman's hand and smashed it onto the floor. "Sit down and shut your mouth," he commanded. The authority in his voice was so terrifying that she froze. He knelt beside David. "I'm not a doctor," the old man said, "but I was a combat medic for 30 years. "Let me see him." He worked fast, jacking airways, tilting Leo's head. He is having a hypoxia attack. We need oxygen now, and we need to land. He won't make it to Zurich. The pilot came out. "We are over at the ocean, sir. The nearest airport is 2 hours away. We can't dive." The old man looked at the pilot. He didn't plead. He pulled a small silver card from his wallet. It wasn't a credit card. It had a gold crest on it. The pilot looked at the card and his face went pale. He stood up straighter. "Sir, I didn't know you were on board." The old man barked. "Drop altitude. Increase cabin pressure. Push the engines to maximum. I will pay for the fuel. I will pay for the fines. Just get this boy on the ground in 40 minutes or you'll be flying cargo for the rest of your life." The pilot ran back to the cockpit. The plane banked hard. The rich woman was trembling. Who are you?" she whispered, looking at the dirty fishing vest. The old man didn't look at her. He was holding the oxygen mask over Leo's face, counting breaths. "I'm the man who built this airline," he said softly, "and I'm the man who is banning you from it for life." They landed in emergency mode in Iceland. An ambulance was waiting on the tarmac. As David ran down the stairs with Leo, the old man grabbed his shoulder. "Go! Save your son!" David turned back. "How can I repay you?" The old man smiled for the first time. "Be a good father. That's the only job that matters." 3 weeks later, David was sitting in a hospital room in Zurich. The surgery was a success. Leo was pink, healthy, and sleeping. A nurse walked in with a letter. "This arrived for you." David opened it. Inside was a check. Enough to buy back his house, his truck, and pay for Leo's college, and a note on airline stationery. "I lost my son to the same heart defect 40 years ago. I had all the money in the world, but I couldn't save him yesterday. You let me save him through you. Thank you." David looked at the sleeping baby, tears falling freely. He realized that in the chaos of life, angels don't always wear white. Sometimes they wear dirty fishing vests and sit in seat 1A.